Kyle here from Applied OCD. So it's that time of the year again. We're going to open the pool. So right now I've got a tarp on the pool that's filled with nasty water and rotten leaves and so forth. And I've always struggled trying to get the water off the top of that. I thought I'd try to make a siphon that'll suck the water off. And that way I can empty the pool without trying to run a cord out there. So my idea is 10-foot piece of 2-inch Schedule 40 PVC. I have a suction strainer from a trash pump. So I'm gonna bring that pipe down here. I have the suction strainer on this end. And then over here, I'm gonna put a 90-degree elbow with a Fernco, with a short piece of pipe, like a 3.5-inch piece of pipe. And I'm gonna use a Fernco coupling in the middle. And then I'm going to come out with another short piece of pipe, 90 degree over with a short piece of PVC here. Then I'm going to turn down and then another 90 at the ground with a discharge pipe that goes out. The Fernco in here is so that you can set this angle, because obviously this end is lower than the rim of the pool. So that Fernco allows a watertight or airtight seal, but yet you can adjust it depending on how far down below this level the center of the tarp is. And then I can use a shop vac to initiate the vacuum or the siphon here. So I'll put the shop vac on, get some water flowing, and then once you feel it in the hose, you unhook it, and then this is going to siphon the water off. Anyway, this will be an improvement over what I was using before, which was some fertilizer discharge suction / discharge hose that you can pick up at your local farm store. I got some 2-inch material that I have a piece of. I got it on clearance years ago, and man, does that stuff work nice. It's got a smooth bore, so it's very low resistance to flow, unlike the convoluted, ribbed, flexible hoses that you get at the pool store, which, man, you talk about an efficiency vampire right there. I mean, I don't even think somebody could design something that's less efficient for water flow than a pipe that's corrugated. Anyway, this fertilizer discharge hose I tried to put out there in the years past, and it wants to curl up, so I have to tape it to a 2x4, and it was long enough to come over the edge of the pool and start the siphon anyway, but it was always a pain in the neck. The board wanted to float, it wouldn't stay down. We're gonna try something new today. We're gonna make this siphon, we're gonna give it the old college try and see if it works. So I've already measured and figured out for the 90 where the Fernco goes in between, I need a 3-inch piece here and a 3-inch piece here. We'll go ahead and cut that. Then I'm going to cut a 4-foot piece that will go down the side wall of the pool and then discharge near the ground. And then this leftover piece that's it's about 16 inches long. That'll be the piece that I use to go into this, and then this will take it out into the yard a little bit away from the pool so that I don't have erosion of the soil right next to the edge of the pool. Now, everybody knows, or you should know, that when you work with PVC pipe, you should always deburr inside and out the pipe. So we're going to take this deburring tool and we're going to do the inside and the outside of all these pieces of pipe before we glue them up. I don't know if I said this before. This is just 2-inch Schedule 40 PVC. You can get it at any hardware, home center, whatever, blah, blah. This stuff I happen to get for free. I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but you see these hash marks on the elbows here? There's one there, there, and then there's, of course, the parting line from the mold, which is right here. And what these are for is they help you line up the joints so that they're nice and square, so you get the angles right. So this one has the angle or the marks here, so if you see you line those up, now you have a perfect 180 degree assembly here. You know, you're not off one way or the other or anything like that. So it makes it really easy to put these together. And then what you do is take it over to a local door jamb or some other 90 degree place and then make a pencil line on there. And that way you can line up, if you have a joint that's this long, you make a pencil mark on the PVC pipe, and then you can use the hash marks on the fittings to get everything perfect, and it'll work out really nice. So there's that little tidbit of information for you. All right, got me some GP, general purpose, all-purpose PVC cement. And I've got some of the purple primer, which I absolutely hate this stuff because it gets everywhere. I don't care what you do, it's everywhere. It makes a mess on everything. And to me, this is the never sees of the plumbing world. Ever used never sees? And you notice that no matter what you do, however careful you are, you get the stuff on your nose, it's on your shirt, it's on your hands and your elbow. I've never seen anything that makes a bigger mess than never sees or purple primer. And I just noticed this one fitting, it's only got the hash marks on one hub. See that? There's one there, one there, one there, one there. And this one doesn't have any, nothing at all. Huh, I don't know. If you got hash marks, use them. If you don't, sorry about your luck, I guess. I like to put them together and give them a little twist. And then to hold them, you got to keep pressure on that, because if you don't, for whatever reason, and if you know the reason, then leave a comment, the joint will push apart. This pipe will actually just move right out of there. Once it's good and locked in, then you can set it down and let it cure up. So those are my pieces that are going to be using the Fernco 2x2 connector. So that's going to go over here, and then I'll have the pipe, the 10-foot piece of pipe that goes down into the pool cover off of this one. And then over here, I'm going to simply make a turn like that. That'll go down into the 4-foot piece and then out into the yard from there. So that one's going to be like that. I didn't put a mark on this one. I better do that. Something else that works good is the fence on the table saw. You can just lay this down there on the table saw up against the fence and make a pencil mark on it. We'll line up this with the hash mark here, with the hash mark there, and that should make that a perfect 90-degree connection from here to here. I want that to be nice and square, and I will get that glued up. What I'm going to try to do is I'll try to highlight that hash mark on the fitting a little bit. If you can see that, I just take the pencil and rub it over the top. And that one I made 2 lines so that I can be confused. There's one. One good thing about this siphon is it will disassemble and break down into some smaller pieces that'll make it easier to store over the winter. So I'm going to do this one first. That way I don't get blue crud from the PVC pipe cleaning stuff all over my hands. But I will do the best I can. Line up the marks here. There we go. There's that one. So why do they make this stuff purple? Good question, right? Well, there is actually a reason for it. And from what I understand, that reason is so that the plumbing inspector, when he comes to check out your work, he can confirm that each joint was properly cleaned before you cemented it together. So it's a quick visual indicator for the plumbing inspector to say, yep, applied OCD, cleaned all their joints before they put them together. So there you can see the lines are lined up. So that's the piece that goes across the pool rail is going to be down here. And then this other piece is going to go down in the cover. This one will go down to the yard. And that one I made 48 inches. Okay, that one's set. So I'm going to use the floor to get these so that they're perfectly 180 degrees and nice and square. Because you can see, obviously, that's sticking up in the air, so this joint is not straight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean and cement this, shove it together, and then hold this down to the floor, making sure that the elbow on that end is touching here and here and here, and the same here and here. Hold that for a few seconds to make sure it's starting to set up. And then I got to glue 2" by 2" male NPT adapter onto the suction tube that's going to run down into the pool. That way I can screw the suction strainer on. So one thing that I like to do in my shop, I don't have a trash can, so to speak. I use handy cardboard boxes. Every once in a while I get something at work that comes in a really nice, just the right size, heavy wall, triple wall cardboard box that may be an electric motor or some other heavy item, steam trap or whatever came in, and I'll grab those. And then I bring them home and I use them as a trash box. Why bag the stuff? Most of the stuff that I have, if I put it in a bag, it's going to puncture it. You know, nails or bits of splintered up wood scraps from the table saw, just, you know, whatever. All kinds of shop trash is not friendly. It's nasty stuff. It's sharp, it's pointy, it's messy or dirty or sloppy. And honestly, a trash can with a bag in it would just be a big hassle because you'd probably end up with most of it on the floor anyway. So I use the trash box. Fill this bad boy up, seal it up with some packaging tape, and off to somebody's backyard it goes. And this will be glued on here. This is the part where the downspout, or whatever you want to call it, discharge spout, hooks onto. Here's my suction strainer. We're just going to screw that on there. And obviously, or maybe not obviously, there's no need for pipe dope or tape or anything on here because I really don't care if it leaks. It's going to, as soon as it sucks a little air, it's done. So this will all be submerged underwater, and when it's done, it's done. Wow, that works awesome. Look at that. That's cool as heck. Well, I would say that was a success, wouldn't you? That's like a full stream coming out of there. Now, hopefully there's enough of a dip in the middle of the pool so that my suction pipe stays down there below. I gotta get my stuff out of here. Everything's gonna get wet. If you look in here, you'll see in the middle of the pool, there's a little depression. I took some rocks and threw in there, some smooth stones. Man, it looks like it's gonna take it right down to nothing. I better hurry up. I gotta go. Huh. I just lost it. It was that quick. I just lost the suction. Man, it emptied that right now. I got some helpers coming over. I think we'll get around the pool. We'll get around there. Everybody kind of lift up their section of tarp, and maybe we can get some more water to go out into that area over there and try to get it to pull some more water out of the cover. So we'll see what happens.